and the gangs killing each other. But the point is that if you don't pay your income tax, or if you do something that's against the government in the system of things, if you get out of the line, they will find you. The IRS will find you if you don't pay your income tax. You can go into the Amazon jungles, and they will come down there looking for you. And if they have to spend $7 million, they're going to find you, and they're going to bring you back here and make an example out of you. So if they have the power. This is the most powerful military nation on the face of the earth, ever devised by men. This nation is the most powerful military combine on earth. It has always been. And if you think about the time back in, 50 years ago in 1940, when the United States was a very infantile country, it didn't have all of the high technology it has today, and just within a couple of short years, it got its stuff together and was able to meet Adolf Hitler on the field of battle throughout the world, and was able to do battle with the whole Nazi empire. But they can't do anything about the drugs and procurement. The problem is that they have total control over everything. So anytime you see things going on, just understand that the powers that be in this government want it that way. Franklin Roosevelt, probably most of you don't remember who he was. He was one of the presidents. Franklin Roosevelt made a statement publicly that I think is very important. He said that anytime you see anything happen in politics, you better understand it was planned that way. So anything that's going on in this country that you see that sounds crazy and lunacy, it's crazy and lunacy to you. But to those guys who are doing it, they know what they're doing. There is a method to the madness. I want to show you, and I think it'd be better if I just go on and begin with the slides, because I have so many of them, and I'll just stop and comment as we're going. Are we going to be able to... Well, I don't know. Let's see. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. On the dollar bill, you'll see on the back of the dollar bill, you'll see the symbol on the left-hand side of the bill, which is annuit coeptus, which means our enterprise is now a success, or our enterprise is crowned with success. Annuit coeptus. So you're saying, fine, so you have an enterprise and it's now crowned with success. What enterprise are you talking about? Novas ordo seclorum. Novas is novus, meaning new. Ordo is order. And seclorum is where we get the word secular, meaning the world. So it's new order of the world, the new world order. George Bush's new world order is now a success. But the problem is this was put on the dollar bill back in 1934. 1934 is when the Federal Reserve actually finally took total control of the United States monetary system, and that's when they said, it is now a success, because this is a symbol. This is an emblem of a secret society of Freemasons called the Illuminati, the German Bavarian Illuminati. They were a secret society founded in the south of Germany. They were called the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, the enlightened ones. They they connected themselves to another group of Freemasons in France, in the south of France, referred to as the Pierre de Sion, French Grand Orient Temple Masons. And so this symbol today, while it's on the back of a $1 bill, it is also incidentally on a document in the British Museum and in the Louvre Museum. Both have some of the original writings of that sect of Freemasons in Germany that are today on display, and on one of the documents it has that exact symbol, annuit coeptus, novus ordo seclorum, and that was in 1774 that the Bavarian Illuminati drew up their plans for what they were going to do in America and how they were going to do it. And that's not anew. That's not just from 1934. That goes all the way back to 1774. 1775, it's a symbol of a secret society. The triangle at the top with the light emanating from around it is Horus, the god of the ancient Egyptians. Of course, this is an Egyptian pyramid. You don't find pyramids in America, you find them in Egypt. And that pyramid is the symbol of the eye, was in the Egyptian religion Horus, which was the newborn sun. Every morning when the sun came up, his name was Horus. There was that was the solar divinity in Egypt. Horus was God's son, the light of the world, who is risen. He is our risen Savior, our risen. And so Horus was referred to as God's son, and that's why the light is emanating from around, because it's a sun. The sun is a round eyeball of God, the ancient Egyptians believed. The pupil of God was the sun, and he's watching you. And therefore, the sun was very bright. And so today we even say someone who is extremely intelligent is brilliant. They're bright. And that's why God is, of course, the most brilliant of all. Therefore, the sun is the most brilliant because it's God's eye. All right, anyway, there are 13 layers on the pyramid. And the 1776 at the bottom is 1776. A lot of people think it's because of the country being founded in 1776. It has nothing to do with that. As I said, this is on a document published back in 1774, 75, and then in 1776 the Roman numerals appeared on it in Europe. So what it amounted to is that the 1776 was when this secret society actually formed itself into a secret society and put itself into operation. Like any other secret society or fraternal order, there's a few years in the formative stages. And then there's a time when they actually get a charter and come together and actually become an actual organization. And then they get a charter from the government and they actually are a legal organization. They were in operation in the 1760s, 1770s, but it wasn't until 1776 that they actually made themselves into a coherent order, and it was called the Order and Sect of the Illuminati. They were the basis for what we call today in our country the Bavarian Illuminati was the basis for what we call today the Colombian faction. The Colombian faction of the Illuminati came here right after this government was formed, and that's where we get today Columbia Space Shuttle, Columbia Movies, Columbia Television, Columbia Records, everything, Columbia University. As a matter of fact, Columbia TV, Columbia Broadcasting System, CBS. What is the symbol for CBS? It's the all-seeing eye of CBS. It's the Colombian faction of a secret society that calls themselves the Colombians, and that's why our government is in the District of Columbia, because these guys own our government. They print our money, and they own not only the government, but they own you. You are their property. As a matter of fact, when you're born, your birth certificate, and on the bottom of the birth certificate, it says the Department of Commerce. It is a property of the Department of Commerce because you are nothing more than a piece of commercial material. That's why if you're out of work, you don't go to the unemployment office, you go to the office for, what is it called, human resources, because you're just a human resource. So, in other words, these guys print the money, they run the company.
Actually, we listened to it. We couldn't see it, unfortunately. Tonight, the TV in the studio is not working for some reasons. I don't know if you could hear it well. Jordan Maxwell put everything together about the seeing eye and the incomplete pyramid. What's the reason? I mean, why we got these symbols? Were they American symbols? Obviously not. They were Egyptian, Babylonian symbols, most of them, and some Roman symbols that which we'll get to them later on. But what do you think about it?
Well, they were, if they weren't American symbols, they were obviously imported from various rituals that our founding fathers had been engaged in Europe, and or their European forebears had been engaged in, and it was obviously something quite common to them, I would assume,
well,
in that there's so many.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, Bavarian secret society is a Germanic secret society. It makes you wonder, because the secret society, like Bavarian secret society, was actually responsible for lots of things. One of them was the Nazi movement. It makes you
This
wonder.
secret society of Freemasons in Bavaria.
Yeah, and makes you wonder that this